Hey, it's Rion with Vision, transformational entertainment media vision, getting more clarity on the state of entertainment and the future of entertainment. We're in this same cause together. So we can do this. Now, let's take a look at the actual subject here, which in presence, it's so easy to disconnect with. Okay. Why blockbuster movies will always be important and relevant. Okay, this is pretty obvious, but you want to look at yourself and see, where am I resisting change? Where am I resisting what already is? If we're going to influence the A-list and the studio system, if we're still resisting what is, then as producers ourselves, or advocates, enthusiasts, screenwriters, some of us may be more independent in nature. If we're resisting the sexuality or, and just like the whole blockbuster theme in favor of smarter or more spiritual media, which is all a part of it, it could keep things divergent. And everything is necessary to just keep evolving, stand for what you're doing. I've produced things that I don't know when certain types of people will catch on to it. I've got to a level of understanding myself where I accept fully that I love blockbuster movies, shamelessly. And that's not going to change. So I've fully accepted that. And I understand also that if you only have like a junk food diet or explosions going off, it's going to burn you out. It's not going to like reach a deeper level. So we can look at the empowerment of tomorrow's media user and experiencer. And we can start looking at what percentage of like junk food that is so awesome for what it is, Michael Bay flicks, and you can just love it and accept it for what it is. What part of that is part of a conscious media user's experience? Maybe it's only 10%. Maybe movies are only 15%, but the rest of the time they're doing transformational experience. So we look at the evolution of consciousness with media consumers. What percentage are they using a shallow, superficial diet or blockbuster films that if you had them all of the time, it would just burn you out? So it gives us new opportunities to see where these market gaps are. So if you have resistance towards movies, you can have your personal preferences, I've found, but in my evolution after doing this for thousands and thousands of hours of alchemy with media, I've really separated and devalued my personal preferences. Now that's actually like 1% of my media use is like my personal favorite artists. Like that's it. 94% of the time is my transformational alchemy with media. Not even just transformational entertainment, but pop media that I'm experiencing alchemically as transformational. And that's just been a part of the evolution. So, yeah, and like the other 4% is movies. I love movies. I cannot tell you how much I love movies. I've seen so many movies. I'm always watching movies and rewatching some. Not a lot of the new stuff I'm not rewatching, but I love movies so much. And I love blockbusters, but they have their place. They will always be relevant. But as it grows, as transformational values and more conscious awakening values become a part of the mainstream, and as the tipping point with cultural creatives or whoever, as things evolve more into a mainstream, we're going to see, I would envision, that transformational conscious resources and how people use it is going to take up more of that space. But blockbusters will always be there. And there's this vortex for new producers, new values to come into the the picture into the consumer's consciousness, into the prosumer's consciousness. And that's where we can really just get this stuff going. Who are the early adopters? And I've got an underground of people that we don't know exactly how many. The Facebook group's only like 300, but there's at least 1,000 men around the world that have been using media alchemically with my methodology. It's still very small scale, but we're doing hardcore transformational stuff. I love movies, and that has its place. And we can also look at how can we evolve consciousness within film. So much to talk about here. I hope new ideas have just kind of been inspired or triggered, or just get your thoughts flowing with all of this. I honor you for being one of the pioneers. This is what we really are. This is the future. I believe it. You know it's true. The evolution of the world, the awakening of consciousness, media is such a massive role. So it requires us now to be that change in the world and do what we can to keep being that change. All right, I'll talk to you soon. It's Rion.